Hi, everybody. My name is Scott Schaefer, and I'm a clinical social worker in Austin, Texas. And I wanted to talk to you all today about the issue of secrecy, particularly in regard to relationships with individuals that may be romantic or spousal. Um, so, people, I think everybody has some degree of issues that they don't talk to others in their lives about. Hopefully it's fewer rather than greater. But to the degree that they don't talk to others about these, that's what we would call secrecy. And if I'm in a close interpersonal relationship with someone and I don't disclose something to them, then that can create a rift in the relationship. Because as much as I might want to be honest and open with them, to the extent that I don't disclose certain things about myself, then I run the risk of not letting them get to know me and holding back in the relationship and restricting the level of interpersonal intimacy that we have. Now, this can cause a lot of harm because relationships have difficulty moving forward the more we hold back in relationships. Now, I'm not saying that we need to disclose every little thing about ourselves to our significant others or our romantic partners, but what I am saying is that to the degree that we don't have open and honest conversations with them, then we're limiting how far forward those relationships can go and how much they can grow. Now, one way of looking at secrets in relationships is that what it does is, if I know something that my partner doesn't, then I have information that they don't. And there's a power differential in that relationship because I know something they don't. I have more power, at least in my own estimation, in the relationship. And that's one way to look at how secrets can harm relationships. Now, there are two sexual health principles that come into play with regard to secrets. One of those is honesty. It's important to be as honest as possible with our romantic and relationship partners. Now, I'm not talking about complete transparency because honesty and transparency are not necessarily the same things. We don't necessarily tell every little thought that we have to our romantic or relationship partners or our significant others. We tell them the things that are important for them to know as part of an ongoing relationship. But that doesn't mean that we just tell them everything and anything that comes into our mind. That's transparency, but it also can be very damaging. And it's really not honesty in the truest sense of the word. So, as a rule of thumb, basically openness and honesty are encouraged, whereas complete transparency is depending on the context of the relationship, not necessarily the thing you have to do, certainly under all circumstances. Now, another sexual health principle that comes into play here has to do with non-exploitation. When we are in relationship with significant others or romantic partners, it's important to be non-exploitive. And if I'm keeping secrets from my loved one, my romantic partner, then in a way I'm exploiting them because they don't have all the facts and I do. And they are vulnerable, more vulnerable than they would otherwise be if the secrets weren't there. So in a way, this typically comes in to play in the situation of gaslighting, where one partner is basically pulling the wool over the other partner's eyes and making them think that what they see is not what they see and what they experience is not what they experience. Oh no, that's not the way it is, it's this way. And basically that's a form of exploitation. but it also has its roots in a secret that one partner is keeping from one or more other partners. And that is poison to relationships. In the short term, it may grant the person who's keeping the secret some reprieve from all the consequences of having everything aired out, but in the long run, it is poison for relationships, and mainly for the reason that I just stated. There are other sexual health principles that are important to be aware of, but those are two key ones that come into play here. And I'll go into more detail about other sexual health principles that are important to be aware of as part of just overall relationship hygiene and good participation in relationships. But I hope that you get a feel for how damaging secrets can be in relationships and why it's important to have as few of them as possible. Not, again, to let go of one's entire boundaries and not to use discretion, not necessarily going to complete transparency, but the idea is giving your partner as much information about you as possible helps to deepen the level of intimacy and allows them to get to know you better. You're revealing yourselves to them, but they're also you're giving them the gift of knowing you better the more information about yourself that you disclose. So I hope you've enjoyed this little discussion on secrecy, and if you have any concerns about the impact of secrecy in your own life, particularly in the context of interpersonal relationships and how to decrease that in your life, you're welcome to give me a call at the number that's posted on my website, because I'd be happy to talk with you about how you can have less secrecy and more trust in your relationships, and as a consequence have healthier relationships in the long run. So thank you, and take care, and goodbye for now.